proposed a 2%
spending guardrail. Yeah, smart spending plan.
What would you foresee the government doing that it's not doing less of that it's doing now? Where would you cut to get there?
Well, we're going to have to do what they did. As I said, Governor Howard Dean did this in the 90s. He imposed a plan much harsher than what I'm level funded for 3 years. And we'll do, working with the General Assembly, we'll establish priorities, making sure that the commitments to the most vulnerable are protected in our society, and we'll just have to do what working families are doing. Families are doing it, small businesses are doing it, government can do it.
How much would that 2% cap save in education costs on an annual basis?
Education is, what I've done the math is, it was $240 million of overall savings, and I'd have to get back to you on the exact breakout for what a cap would show in education spending, but the point is to begin the conversation around something specific, and that's what I'm proposing.
You really have to go to where the money is in the state budget if you have a 2% cap. Doesn't that inevitably mean freezing benefits, reducing benefits, Medicaid? And the governor's always said he thinks Vermont's too generous. Do you share that opinion?
Well, what I know is we in state government cannot grow government more than the underlying economy. Governor Howard Dean said that in the 90s. He proposed something much more difficult. 3-year level funding. I'm proposing a 2% increase, which is, our experts anticipate inflation to be something like 1% or 1% inflation. So I'm proposing to grow state government, but at a disciplined rate. And as I said, that's a conversation we'll have to have with the General Assembly. Governor Howard Dean did it in the 90s, and he proved that he imposed something more difficult than what I'm proposing. But I think it's important to do that for the other reasons that we talked about: growing our economy, creating more opportunity, and that's what I'm proposing today.
But following up on what Terry said, don't you have an obligation to tell voters what Vermont government is no longer going to be doing and what it's been today?
Well, I mean, that conversation is an ongoing conversation. What I'm proposing is that we grow state government greater than the rate of inflation, do what families are doing, do what small businesses are doing. We can do it. As I said, Governor Dean did it in the 90s. 3 years of level funding. We've done this in our past. That's my vision. That's what I'm declaring here. And the conversation of where to prioritize will be a conversation between our next governor and the General Assembly. I put a comprehensive plan down. I show how I'm going to pay for my tax cuts that I'm talking about. I think it's the right thing to do, and the conversation about specific programs, it will be an ongoing conversation, but there are opportunities. We're making investments in IT, we're learning how to do things more efficiently, more effectively, and that will be an ongoing conversation.
But if you wanted to, if Vermonters wanted a sense of, okay, well, where are Brian Dubie's priorities as he heads into that conversation? We have a sense maybe of where the legislatures are. You've hinted at, perhaps, which are generous. If you could just give us a sense of where your priority might be.
No, what I've clearly said today is we cannot spend in state government more than the underlying economy. Families can't spend more than they take in. That's what I'm saying here today. I've laid out a vision that says, like Governor Howard Dean did in the 90s, he imposed a level funded budget. I'm proposing we grow government, but we grow it at a rate less than we have grown in the last decade. I think it's reasonable, it's responsible. We're going to have a conversation about what our priorities are as a state. I provided a comprehensive plan today. It will be a basis of that conversation. And I'm suggesting what families have to do. Families can't spend more than they make. That should be the basis of government over time. It has to be. I remember when I was a school board chair, I listened to Governor Howard Dean talk about that all the time.